form this relationship with the client from the time that they come in to the time that that car leaves.
Some of these relationships they have are long-term relationships.
It's similar to marriage.
It's something that you think about when you're going to bed at night.
There's a lot of give and take.
You know, you make that commitment and that's it.
It's the first thing that comes into your mind when you wake up in the morning.
How much time and effort you put in is exactly what you'll get in return.
The relationship the client has with their vehicle is very much like a marriage.
There's highs and lows.
It's all about the satisfaction that you're going to get of a job well done.
The relationship we have with Gil and Linda and the vehicles is like a marriage.
That relationship the client has with that vehicle, we share that with them. So we're both married to the ride.
Gil and Linda are married to the rides.
What you see is not always what you get is definitely a prominent theme, and the 55 Chevy is a prime example. He drove it in here, the client. It looked pretty good from the outside. It had one restoration by the second owner of the vehicle. Our client's the third. And it wasn't until we started taking the paint off that we realized the amount of Bondo that was used and the bad bodywork that was hidden underneath the paint. And under that was some really bad metal work. And unfortunately, more often than not, that's what we see. With the 55 sedan delivery, we knew there might be a couple little issues. When we started stripping the paint off of that, we didn't realize that we were going to encounter on the 1/4, 3/4 of an inch of Bondo material. So Koba started stripping us this week, and kind of as suspected, this is what we found. Unfortunately, it's a lot worse than we thought. Not just the metal aspect of it, but these nice decorative Bondo spots that they put in here.
This is why they should never have sales on body filler.
Obviously, not going to keep stripping it and reuse this panel. So what are you thinking?
At this point, I mean, being that it's so stretched out here, and it's just totally destroyed at the bottom there, we'd be better off just replacing the panel.
Okay.
So on the 55 Chevy, when we got it in, did the initial look over. Didn't look too bad. We went ahead and started grinding down all the product that was on it. Come to find that there was a massive repair on the passenger quarter panel. Once we dug out all the 1.5 inch of body filler, we found that they had put a patch on a previously repaired part of the quarter panel. When they brazed it, it was extremely hot and it just warped the heck out of it. So it was in our best interest to go ahead, instead of repairing something that really shouldn't be repaired, is replace it. Unfortunately, they didn't make that specific model quarter panel for it. They did sell that patch itself. So what I had to do was I was able to utilize the patch and basically make the quarter panel from the top of the body line down. And once Koba got finished with the bodywork, it looked better than any quarter panel I've seen as far as straightness, and it came out really well.
And it's not necessarily just about the physical appearance of the car. There was also issues with the fuel tank that you wouldn't necessarily see until you started driving it. There was a lot of rust that got pulled up through the fuel lines and into the carb. So you have to be really careful about what you're buying. Always have maybe somebody look at it. Or if you know what you're buying, always be prepared for the amount of work it's going to take to get it to really look the way you want it to.
So we've been doing interior work for almost 20 years now, and we've had our share of surprises. So sometimes what you see isn't always what you get. So you uncover these little gems. But this 55 Chevy wasn't too bad. I would say we had a couple of little, what we call Easter eggs, these little hidden gems. For this one, the seats look kind of decent. This was, after all, a restored car. But once we got the covers off, we discovered that was just a big block of foam, almost like a couch cushion. And the wood was kind of rotted, so from the appearance it did look fine, like it was usable. But once we got it Stripped down, we realized we had to do the foam over again, which was fine because we were going to sculpt it, and it needed all new wood to support the seat. The door panels were very similar, you know, they looked fine once you got them off. We realized that they were just cheap, like just cheap cardboard, and definitely were a victim to moisture, so those had to be changed as well. So overall, I mean, what we saw wasn't what we got, but it wasn't too bad on this one.
We started work on our 55 sedan delivery. There's some metal fabrication that needs to be done. We started to detrim everything, and when he dropped it off, he added a couple things. New transmission, new AC system, which is it's a classic air system, which is nice because it's actually made for this vehicle. We're going to be putting in new gauges, new function, same old look, very classy. It is getting what was supposed to be some body and paint and a couple minor things has turned into metalwork, bodywork, paint. We're pulling the motor, we're refreshing that, we're painting that, brakes, AC. We're changing out the transmission, so that's usually how that happens. So that will be here for quite a while, and it will be getting a full interior, which is really going to complement the paint job. The paint we're changing completely to a different color, which I believe might be the original color, so I'm looking forward to that once we start getting the paint off. But yeah, that's going to be a really, really fun project, and this client is really ambitious about the whole project, which is really cool to see. Rather than trying to repair this, we actually are going to just replace the entire quarter panel. So we are fortunate to be able to do that, but it saves time and money. It's also a better end result because this is actually, it looks like quite a few patches that have been put on here and filled. And this is why we take everything down. Everyone asks us, why, oh, you can just scuff and shoot it. And this is why we don't scuff and shoot, because these are the things that are hiding below. So every time that we do some kind of a paint job, we take everything down to the bare metal and we start over. Unfortunately, you know, everything looks great from the outside. Once you start picking, there was a lot of damage to the lower rocker panels. Somebody actually put spray foam in one. Don't ask me why. So all of that had to come out. We had to rust treat everything, obviously make new patch panels underneath, including inside the wheel well here, we had to do that. And it was perfect because now that this piece had been cut off, he had the opportunity to really address all the rust and all the things that were, you know, an issue underneath, because you don't want to just do the outside. You want to make sure that all that rust doesn't come back through. And that's what he was taking care of. He's now flipped to the other side to also take care of the rocker panels. But now that we have this part, he'll be able to finish this on Saturday. All the metal work has been done. Bob finished all that up. There was quite a bit to do, but he has all that set and done and is now handed it off to Koba to start body work, which is going to be a challenge considering the amount of metal work that was done, and that it's all long, straight panels. So it really is time consuming, and you really have to have a good eye. And I know Koba's going to do a great job with that, so I'm pretty excited. And once that's all set, we can get it off to primer. The other items on the vehicle, doors, fenders, that's already been primed and blocked, ready for second primer. So it was just the body took a little bit more time with the metal work.
Bobby did a great job with this quarter panel. It has a big chunk of plastic on it. When you add the plastic proper way, not a big chunk of plastic once, and then you send it. No, that's not working. You gotta find the low spots, clear up that one, and do again.
So we're moving along on the 1955 sedan delivery wagon. Julio just wrapped up the seats. You can actually see we did all that beautiful Relicate leather in front. And then in the back, we kind of did a little extra touch. We did the carpet on the back, which is going to really look nice because on the rear cargo area, the carpet's going to come right up to the back of the seat, so it'll look nice and seamless. So very nice touch. Seats look phenomenal. They still function nice and perfect there. And these are wraps. So next up, Kurt and I are going to get on the door panels. We'll test fit that. And then from that point on, he's going to have to go ahead and get all those pleats stitched up, get the armrest set, get the panels installed. We still got to get the headliner in, the windlace. So this one's coming up quick, and we're getting it wrapped up. And he's going to be driving this thing pretty soon.
These are the original 55 Chevy door panel armrests. They had originally had cotton on them. Here's what the original one looked like. We stripped them down, and the foam piece on the top is really in good shape. So we just I put some Landau padding, a couple layers to smooth it out and make it nice. So now it's all good and good for another 80 years. We finished it off with a 1/8" Landau and then sanded it down smooth. Any of the imperfections we took out. So now when we put the cover on, which I'm making over here, armrest, it'll lay down nice.
So this is Chevy 55. We prime this guy. Now we have to adjust all that gaps and doors, door panels, and we did the body work over here. And then we installed this bezel so it fits nice now. Yeah, this door is adjusted, that door is adjusted. I'm working now in a left side door. Yeah, when I'm done with the gaps, and I'll be sure everything fits good, perfect. We're not gonna do any more some body work or metal work or something. I gotta do the little things, you know, just fix the little imperfections. And when I fix that, then he going again to the primer.
My name is Rich Lawrence. I've been working on cars 50 years now. I grew up in Maybrook, New York. Graduated in 1973 out of Valley Central High School. Shortly after that, I started working on cars. What I'm working on right now is a 1955 Chevy panel truck. The owner is doing a lot of upgrades to it. He wants to keep the engine as stock appearing as possible. So basically, I'm in the process of removing the valve cover, intake manifold, oil pan, timing case cover to get everything cleaned up to have the engine properly painted.
Now that we're doing all the nice bodywork, metalwork, paint, it was imperative that we dress the motor because it really would have looked not so nice with everything else that looks so pretty. So we pulled that out, refreshing everything, you know, new gaskets, kind of go through, clean it up. It's going to be the traditional Chevy orange that we're going to be painting it. So we're pretty excited that it's just going to be a real cohesive project. Everything's going to look really nice when it's all said and done. So. So the 55 is Koba's pet project, or his baby, so to speak. And I mean, from the initial body work after the metal work, which is, you know, obviously you have these big, you know, pieces that you've repaired. So it takes a lot of heavy body work, and then you dial it into the finer body work, and then you dial it in, it gets, you know, primed, and then you block it and you dial it in, and then you gap it. We always do 2 primes. It's always good to make sure and the paint job is exceptional. because this way, you know, even after you prime and you block, sometimes there's little things that rear their ugly head, but when you reprime it, you can get all those extra little things that you may have missed the first time. And Koba has this attention to detail that's unmatched. And he has been, I think it's his best friend, this car. He's been working on it for so long. His heart is in it. His fingernails and fingerprints are in it at this point. I don't think he has fingerprints left after all the sanding. And I'm excited because it gives Jay a much more, I would say, perfect canvas for him to lay that paint. So everything all set to go. We have it scheduled for Jay to get it for paint. So I just want to make sure everything has been good. Where are you at right now?
Today, yesterday, and day before, I go over all that little things. Imperfections was fixed, was primed, now need to be scuffed.
Okay.
And ready for Jay. So looks like everything going good, but after scuffing, anyway, I gotta check every square inch.
Okay.
Make perfect, ready for Jay.
Okay. Yeah, we got a couple days left before we have to before it goes into the booth. So.
Plenty time.
All right, good.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I looked it over before. It looks amazing. It looks really good. So I'm really happy with it. I think the client's gonna love it. I'm excited. We saw did you see the little car? That's so cute. You saw that, right? And that's gonna be the paint color. It kind of gives you an idea of what the overall look is gonna be when it's done. And this thing is gonna be just amazing with that color. I love it.
That's really perfect choice for this car.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. I will let Jay know it's ready for him to take.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you, Koba. Looks good. Looks good. And with the 55, the next step is actually just to hand it off to Jay. Koba and I have looked it over. Everything is good to go, and we give it our 2 thumbs up and our blessing. And Jay's the lucky winner of a 55 Chevy that he's going to be, oh my God, doing such a great paint job on. I can't wait.
Okay, today we're at GCD Auto Studio. We got the 55 Chevy delivery in the booth. I got the formula up on the screen. Get ready to start mixing some paint. Got our paint all mixed. It's on the gun. Ready to start painting.
We have our 55 Chevy, and it's paint day. One of the best days, because that's the first thing people look at. And I have to say, it's been such a short time since we've been here, 6 months and 2 weeks. From the time it rolled into the shop and was dropped off to the time of paint, metalwork, bodywork, 2 poly primes, and here we are. So excited. The color is phenomenal. It's called Sea Mist. It's a traditional 50s color, so it's absolutely gonna look beautiful on this car. So Jay's finished with the paint, and I'm so excited to see it out of the booth later. We'll let her sleep right now and cure. But the next steps, it's gonna go quick. We're gonna marry the beautifully painted motor to the transmission. We're gonna get that all in, get everything onto the firewall before we put the fenders and the front together. And we have some wiring, some gauges, and then it's off to Gil to assemble the interior. And I can't believe it's, he'll have it for car show season. How amazing is that? He dropped off at the end of car show season. He'll have it back for car show season, all fresh and new. One thing we all love is freshly painted rims. And Scott gets the lovely task of mounting the new tires on them very painstakingly, and which he is. He's very careful with those things, no pressure. But I really think that's gonna set that car off. It's just gonna look so, it's like it's shoes. It's like the shoes. You got the outfit, you have to have the shoes. It's gonna look beautiful. And I know Scott's gonna do a great job.
Today we're working on the 55 sedan delivery, and I'm going to be mounting balancing the tires on the freshly painted wheels. You got to be pretty careful doing that. It's fresh paint. You know, I do not want to scratch anything. So on the balancing machine, I actually have plastic inserts that go on to protect the rim. So that actually grabs the rim with plastic inserts so it doesn't mar or scratch the wheel. And then from there, I put the tire on. I put copious amounts of lube on it so make sure it slides on really well. Put the tire on the wheel. On top of it, the duck bill, they call it, where it comes down, actually is a plastic also. They have metal and plastic ones. We use the plastic ones, so there is no scuffing of the wheel at all. Even if it would rub something, the plastic is very soft. So mounted the wheel up, take it out of the machine. I'd also double check everything, make sure there is no scratches, everything looks good. Put it on the balancer, balance the wheel out, zero it out, and start on the next one. The engine and transmission is in the vehicle. Front accessory drive is in, power brake booster is in, new steering column is in. We have a few little items to do, like finish up the lines for the AC and the heater system. And then once that's done, it's going off to Gil to do the radio and the interior.
I think it's going to come together really quick. Gauges are, getting put in, and it'll be off to Gil. I know he has a lot of the components made already, so this will definitely be back to the customer for show season, no question. So Syracuse, you ready to go?
I am ready to be there. I'm not ready to do what it takes to get there. It's a little less than years past. We only have to finish the one car, not four. Most of the interior is pretty set, but we still have to install everything. So I think that's why it's good this year. It's just Scott, myself, Chris, and John, and the rest of you guys are back here because you're gonna have to get stuff done.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's all hands on deck right now. Just trying to get the rest of it assembled, get all the chrome pieces on, and go over it. Jess is gonna come in, do the cut and polish, so you won't have to, it'll literally be detailed to perfection when you guys load it up to take it. But since we've kind of taken everyone off to get this ready, it'll be nice for everyone to go back onto the other projects and move other things forward, because you know how I get stressed out over the schedule. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to the reaction. So. Yeah. But, so no fun for us this weekend.
No,
that's
why I'm drinking coffee and not whiskey, but we'll get it done.
Okay. So Koba's working on the glass today, the door glass. He's gonna get all of that in.
We have to install this thing today. I think all glass system, all the felts, everything. So that's what we're doing today. But first, it's supposed to go glass.
He's already made the adjustments on the back tailgate that needed to be made. We will be putting the glass in there, but it was really important to get the new hinges on there. There's special hinges that are required just for that, to hold that weight. It's pretty heavy.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.